Good day everyone. Today we'll be discussing the male reproductive system. So an overview of the male reproductive system. So reproduction or procreation is one of the most important biological processes that living things undertake because it ensures preservation of the species. So it requires fertilization or the union of male and female gametes. Male gamete is also known as spermatozoon and the female gamete is the ovum. So gametes are haploid cells, but their union leads to a formation of diploid cells called zygote. So subsequent mitosis, the zygote will lead to embryo, then becomes fetus. So the gametogenesis is the formation of gametes. For males, the term is spermatogenesis, and for females, that's oogenesis. So reproductive organs are involve or they produce hormones that account for the anatomical and physiological differences between sexes. So what is included in the male reproductive system? We have a pair of testes, duct system, copulatory organ or the penis, and the accessory glands. So that's the male reproductive tract. So we'll discuss that. So the pathway of the sperm travel, so the spermatozoa are created in the testes. So it travels into the epididymis, then the vas deferens, ejaculatory duct, and the urethra. So there are accessory organs that assist the spermatozoa on this journey. It includes the seminal vesicles, prostate gland, and bulbourethral or Cowper's gland. And the external genital includes the scrotum. It houses the testes, and the penis, it is the erectile organ. So this is the ejaculatory duct, the vas deferens, the epididymis, and the testes. So the primordial germ cells, it is the earliest recognizable stem cells of the male and female gametes. So spermatogenesis is the process of producing spermatozoa from spermatogonia. So it starts at puberty and continues until old age. So it consists of three stages. You have the spermatocytogenesis, the meiosis, and the spermiogenesis. So spermacytogenesis, it refers to the development of the spermatogonia into the spermatocytes. So there are three types of spermatogonia. We have the dark type A, the pale type A, and the type B. So the dark type A has not entered the spermatogenic cell cycle yet, rarely divide and considered as dormant reserve stem cells. The pale, it is highly mitotic and transforms into type B. The type B, yung type B nag-undergo ng mitosis and differentiate into primary spermatocytes. So the spermatocytes is the largest cell in the male germ cell lineage. So the meiosis, it consists of two successive cell divisions. We have the meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. For meiosis 1, undertaken by one diploid primary spermatocyte to become two haploid secondary spermatocytes. For meiosis 2, undertaken by two secondary spermatocytes to become four haploid spermatids. So the spermiogenesis is the transformation of the spermatids into spermatozoa. So there are three phases. We have the Golgi phase. It is where the production of acrosomal vesicles occur. Acrosomal phase, it transforms into the acrosome, a cup-like structure that covers the big part of the nuclear surface of the sperm. In the maturation phase, transformation of the spermatid completely. So the spermiogenesis, spermiation is the end of the spermiogenesis, wherein the sperms are released into the fluid-like lumen of the seminiferous tubule. So it takes 64 days for the spermatogonia to develop into spermatozoa. So that's the process. So we have the spermatogenesis, then the mitosis, we have the meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Tapos yung end product na will be form sperm cells. Spermatozoon or spermatozoon consists of the head and very long tail. So the tip of the head contains acrosomal cap that contains enzymes. So the tail is composed of four segments. We have the neck, segment attached to the head, the middle piece, the principal piece, and the end piece. So that's it, the acrosome or the acrosomal cap. Sa head, nandun din yung nucleus. We have the mid-piece. We have the tail. So the testes, it is the organ that produces the male gametes or the sperm cells. So they are a pair of oval bodies that are lodged into the scrotum. Yung scrotum nga is a sac that is made up of skin. So it is the testis is enclosed by a tough fibrous capsule called tunica albuginea, which is made up of dense irregular connective tissues. Mediastinum testis, the posterior part of the tunica albuginea where blood and lymphatic vessels enter or exit. So each lobule is occupied by highly coiled tubes. Anong tawag dun sa coiled tubes na yun? We have the seminiferous tubules where spermatogenesis occurs. We have the interstitial cells of Leydig. It is a large ovoid cells with round nucleus containing fine chromatin. So it produces testosterone. Ano yung testosterone? Is the hormone responsible for secondary male characteristics. So the production of testosterone is regulated by a hormone. Ang tawag ay luteinizing hormone. So ito yung mga Leydig cells that produces ito yung Leydig cells that produces testosterone. Then pictures lang din yan. Of the seminiferous tubule, about 1 to 4 seminiferous tubule located in a testicular lobule. So yung epithelium niya is stratified and contains gametes of various development and supporting cells called Sertoli cells. So Sertoli cells are large, tall cells with broad bases. So anong function niya? Support and protect developing gametes, produce fluid that fills the lumen of the seminiferous tubules, facilitate transport, phagocytosis of excess cytoplasm, and produces inhibin which downregulates the FSH or the follicular stimulating hormone. So blood-testis barrier, it is formed by tight junctions between base of Sertoli cells. So tight junctions divide the lumen of the seminiferous tubule into basal and abluminal compartments. So we have the basal and the abluminar compartments. Sa abluminar compartment, it is the site where primary spermatocytes divides and transforms into spermatozoa. So ducts of testes, they transport and conduct sperm cells produced by the seminiferous tubule. It is classified into intratesticular genital ducts and the extratesticular genital ducts. The intratesticular genital ducts, we have the tubuli recti. It is a short, narrow, straight tubes that are immediate continuation of the seminiferous tubule. The retestis naman is a network of anastomosing canals that have irregular lumens within the mediastinum testis. The tili efferentes, 12 to 20 fine tubules that drain the retestis. Extratesticular naman serves as passageway of the sperm cells from the testes to the outside. So it consists of the ductus, epididymis, ductus deferens, ejaculatory duct, and the urethra. The ductus epididymis is a transverse and main component of the epididymis. Made up of principal and basal cells, it serves as storage site of the spermatozoa and sites where the spermatozoa becomes motile. So it is a C-shaped structure that occupies an area about 7.6 centimeters in length. So the vas deferens naman is a fibrovascular tube about 45. So the ampulla is the dilated distal part of the ductus deferens. Ejaculatory duct from the union of ducts of ductus deferens and seminal vesicle and transverse the prostate gland. The urethra is the last segment of the duct system of both the reproductive and urinary system. So the penis is the main male copulatory organ, consists of three cylindrical masses that are bound together by a connective tissue. You have two corpora cavernosa penis and one corpora spongiosum penis. So the glans penis is the enlarged distal portion which cover a fold of skin called the prepuce. So the penis is made up of erectile tissues consisting of labyrinth system of anastomosing blood channels lined by endothelium and separated by connective tissues. So glans of Thiessen is a sebaceous glands located in the proximal portion of the glans penis and under surface of the prepuce. So in uncircumcised penis, the secretion of glands accumulate and forms a cheesy material or smegma in the space between the prepuce and the glans penis. So yan. So what are the accessory glands? We have the prostate gland, seminal vesicles, and the bulbourethral gland. So their combined secretions account for most of the volume of the male ejaculate or yung semen or semen. 60% comes from the seminal vesicles, 30% from the prostate gland, and 10% sperm cells and bulbourethral secretions. So the prostate gland is a chestnut-shaped gland of about 4 centimeters in diameter. So the secretion of prostate gland is an alkaline fluid that contains enzymes, fibrinolysin, prostaglandins, and compound with antibiotic properties. So ito yung prostate. This one. Yung prostate gland. So the seminal vesicles are paired sac-like structures about 5 centimeters long. So secretions contains fructose. So the fructose is the important source of energy for the sperm cells. It also has prostaglandins and fibrinogen. Kaya dapat rich in fructose. So makikita mong fructose sa mga fruits. Yun. The vas deferens ampoule and the seminal vesicles. Lastly, we have the bulbourethral gland or the Cowper gland. It is a pea-sized yellowish organs. So its secretions consist of clear viscous fluid or the mucoproteins that is discharged shortly before ejaculation. It helps lubricate the urethra for easier passage of spermatozoa.